A couple of days ago, I made a video about how I left my startup job as the creative director of a startup in San Francisco and flew back to UK and took a software engineering graduate role. A lot of questions about why I did this, why did I not take the risk, what was the reason behind it, from people who are in similar positions, either making content, starting making content, working corporate, thinking about going corporate, or people who don't know whether they want to do startups, corporate, take the risk, all of these. And I will try and address some of the questions that I've got. Apologies for the lighting. I'm in the office. I'll try and make this quick, and I hope that I can answer all of your questions. So let me begin. To make it clear, the reason why I left the startup role to come back to corporate is tied extremely closely to my long-term goals. When making decisions about where you want to work and what you want to do, it's important to consider where you want to be, not in 1 or 2 years' time, but in 5 or 10 years down the line. And for me, that was not being the creative director of a startup. So I come from a technical background, but I studied economics at university. And while studying economics, I really enjoyed environmental economics. I wrote my longest paper on electric vehicle supply chains and the humanitarian crisis in the DRC. So when thinking about what I want to do in the long term, I want to found, ideally on the intersection between tech and sustainability, somewhere in the ESG space. While staying in San Francisco would have been fun, it would have been great content, I wouldn't have been moving the needle along towards my long-term goals. Number 2, so early on in your career, it's really important to think about skill development. Where can I develop the skills that will take me to where I want to be? And for me, the skills I want to develop leadership, project management, software engineering, coding skill. How can you lead a team of devs if you don't know how to code? So from a skill development perspective, my offer at a software engineering grad scheme in London was a no-brainer. Not only will I get to remain within structured learning, but I'd be living at home, saving money on rent, get to see my family, and I wouldn't be leaving behind my support network, my friends, my family, everything that I built up in London to start all over again. Now, on paper, all of this sounds great, but what about the risk, Ben? Why aren't you taking risks? Your 20s is the time to take risks, to go big or go home, crash and burn, and it doesn't matter whatever happens. My answer to that is 2 things. Number 1, we all have different risk appetites. Everyone has different risk appetites. I'm not comfortable rejecting a graduate job offer in London to take a risky startup role when I already had this egg in my basket. And the second thing is the gut instinct. What does your gut tell you? So my creative role as a creative director, you're setting the creative direction of the company. And personally, as a creative, from the perspective as a creative, as someone with ambition, I felt an extreme sense of discomfort in being the face of something that wasn't my own. No matter how well I did, whether I got X percentage of the shares, X percentage of the stock, it would never be my company. And this might not be the same to you, but for me, that was something that after 3 months of working, I felt that inside. There are a couple more questions about, do you plan to develop your social media, your personal brand alongside your 9 to 5? Do you have plans on monetizing? Yes, I do. I've been working on something in the background. Not going to tell you yet. You'll find out in a couple of days, potentially. But it's very much in a sense that everyone seems to want everything now, when life is actually a marathon, not a sprint. It would have been super cool to quit everything and go to SF, make brilliant content about it, but would it be what I want to do? Or would I just be fulfilling the narrative of quit your job and go to San Francisco? This is my hot take on dreams. There's a couple dreams that are essentially prescribed, like narratives that everyone seems to follow, and you fall into tropes. There's a trope of work 9 to 5, go to college, get a job, get married, have kids, mortgage, house, car, all of this. Then there's the other narrative of go to college, I don't want a corporate job, or I get a corporate job and quit, go start my own company, do this own thing. That's another narrative. And the thing is, a lot of these, you either get ingrained in you through childhood or you get indoctrinated online. And the hard part is differentiating what is my dream and what is a dream that someone else has had that I now want because I've seen them do it. It's a fine line, but what I really recommend is taking a step back, sitting and thinking with your thoughts. I journal. I journal pretty much every day. And having a close relationship with yourself and your thoughts is really important for going in not just the right direction, but the direction that aligns with who you are. Because when you wholeheartedly believe in what you do and why you're doing it, life is so fun. Yeah, that's my little rant. I hope this was food for thought, and I will see you soon. Networking guy coming.